Hello and welcome. My name is Colton Cass, and welcome to this What is going on? My stuff is going crazy right now. I am very sorry about all this. Anyways, hello. My name is SlimMonster, aka Colton Cass, and in this short series, we talk about celebrities and how they were murdered. This one is crazy. This is of a legend who helped influence and shape hip hop how it was today. Inevitably, he was murdered and it was unsolved up until 20 years. And recently, new light has been shed on the case. And so I just wanted to peek into it. So without further ado, let me just get into it real quick. Just an FYI, I am halfway through this series of talks, but I will be moving on to a new topic, and that topic is going to be divinations. And I'm pretty excited about that because I love talking about divinations. I find the forms of divinations quite interesting, and there's kind of a psychology there, and I think it's quite cool. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get into it. What the? This damn thing. All right, here, let me try it. We'll do it one more time. All right. Oh, see how this motherfucker does it? All right, sorry. Anyways, so today's case, as I said, involves somebody that was super pivotal to hip hop, and that was a DJ that helped shape DJ, and that was Jam Master Jay. But before he was Jam Master Jay, he was born Jason Mizell in Brooklyn, New York. His parents were Jesse Mizell and Connie Thompson Mizell. At an early age of 3, he began to play trumpet and continued to learn bass, guitar, drums. Just a very talented young individual, especially at an early age. And in high school, he eventually found turntablism, and as they say, it was history. All right, I'll stop doing that. All right. In 1982, he joined up with Joseph Run Simmons and Daryl DMC McDaniels just after they graduated from high school and agreed to DJ for them just because he said, he wanted to be a part of the band. And you know what? Like, I feel that. He just wanted to be included, and I 100% agree because I like to play games with my friend. I don't care if I lose. I just like to play games. It's fun. Thanks for joining me. Anyways, in 1989, Mizell, established Jam Master Jay Records, which included 50 Cent and Onyx, which folded after his death in 2002. 2002, that same year, he created Scratch DJ Academy in Manhattan, created to provide an unparalleled education and access to the art form of DJ and producer. And that's such a admirable thing for him to have done before his death. But now let's just go ahead and get into his murder. Wednesday, October 30th, 2002 at 7:30 p.m. at Jay's studio in Jamaica, Queens. Jason Mizell was fatally shot. Another person was at the studio with Jay, and he said, it said that he was shot in the ankle, but he eventually recovered. The shooter had gotten away. Mizell was eventually buried at Ferncliff Cemetery and Mausoleum in Hartsdale, New York. 2003. The next year, Ken McGriff, a convicted drug dealer and longtime friend of another record label, was investigated for targeting Mizell because the DJ defined an industry blacklist of the rapper 50 Cent. It was imposed because of the Ghetto Koran, a song 50 Cent wrote about McGriff's drug history. The investigation into McGriff eventually yielded no results, and so on. It stopped. In that same year, 2003, at the end of the year, December, an article came out in Playboy, and I told you I was actually reading it for the articles. Believe me, my mom doesn't, but I told her I was. Anyways, it was titled The Last Days of Jam Master Jay, an investigative look into the ending of his life, written by journalist Frank Owens. Owens uncovered evidence that Mizell had turned to cocaine distribution to pay mounting bills. Apparently, Jam Master Jay had owed the IRS, among others, after his music career stalled in the late 1990s. The journalist had also had in the article that on July 31st, 2002, Mizell traveled to Washington, D.C. to obtain more than 10 kilograms of cocaine, valued at about $250,000 from trafficking that went by the name of Uncle. a trafficker by the name of Uncle. Now, Uncle was said to have called the hit on Jason Mizell after he failed to repay. Now, let's just go ahead and skip a little bit ahead. So, nothing had happened. It's 2003. Nothing had happened 4 years later. So, 4 years later, there's on April 2007, federal prosecutors named Ronald Washington as an accomplice to the murders. Washington was also a suspect in the 1995 murder of Randy Stretch Walker, a former close associate of Tupac Shakur. So according to those court papers filed by the prosecution, Washington pointed his gun at those present in the studio, ordered them to get on the ground, and provided cover for his associate to shoot and kill Jason Mizell. However, he was never convicted of this crime. So the case basically went cold and unsolved here in 2007. Now let's fast forward to this is crazy, to 2022. That's crazy, dude. That's like, I don't know maths. That's like 13 years later. Yeah, 13 years later. And Ronald Washington and Carl Jr. were indicted for that's the wrong one. Were indicted for Mizell's murder. They pled not guilty on November 21st. It was announced that the government would not seek the death penalty if they are convicted. I guess they are still going to go through with the trial set for September of this year. I did also see that prosecutors opposed bail for the accused killers. This here is Carl Jordan Jr., who is an accomplice said to be posing with a mural of Jam Master Jay. Quite chilling. What an asshole. Anyways, an interesting case with information murdered 20 years ago. Who knew there would be a proper justice for such a legend? Drugs and money seem to have ruled the world, and unfortunately, it all led up to this. Maybe I'll do an update when more comes out. Quite interesting information, and really quite an interesting case. I can't believe it went cold for 13 years before it was brought back up. Like, they had to do it in 2007. They could have just ended it there. But they were like, nah, just hang out for a while. A dude got 13 years of freedom for something, so it's good to see that. I do just want to let you guys know I am doing episodes every Tuesday. You guys can find me anywhere on the social medias. I'm also doing a photography challenge right now, 31 days of March photography challenge. I'm a little bit behind on them, but you can go check that out on my Instagram. I'll probably post it up all later on my Facebook, probably at the end of the month. But yeah, so my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Colt_of_Colt. Facebook is at Colton Chaos Makes Art. And then YouTube and Twitch, you can find me at SlimMonster the Witch. All right. See you guys every Tuesday.